Chapter 2 Remix. Some love it, some hate it. Ice Spice is in the game. I mean, I personally love the season, but that doesn't mean you necessarily do. Today, I'm going to be going over your guys' hot takes focused on Chapter 2 Remix. Let's go. Lucas M says that he thinks collabs with rappers this season is overhated. It's a good refreshment to Chapter 2. And you know, I agree, honestly. I think it's a little too overhated. At this point, Fortnite's been doing the whole collab thing for years. Not even for years, since basically Season 4 of Chapter 1, they've been doing collab. They did Marshmello, they did Travis Scott, ton of collabs, absolutely ton. A bunch of movie characters, a bunch of anime characters are in the game. Like, at this point, if you're mad about collabs, why are you even playing the game? You know, like, I know that sounds a little harsh, but like, come on, man. They've been doing this shit for years. And I'm sure if it was a collab you actually liked, maybe you're not a big fan of hip hop music. If it was a collab you actually liked, you wouldn't care. This guy says leveling up is too easy this season. I mean, is that a bad thing? Like, I don't know. I guess it is if you play the game to just level up and to have something to do, do quests, etc., etc. So I guess that can be perceived as sort of a bad thing. I know for one, I'm already like technically halfway through the pass, I think, and I've like barely played the game. I've played for like a few days. I've recorded gameplay and stuff. So yeah, I could definitely see where you'd be coming from. Guy says we should have had the old seasons instead of the rappers. I think someone in this comment section said what I'm about to say, but I think it would have been better if we had like a week of classic OG spy season from Chapter 2 and then all the collab stuff came in. I think that would have been a little better, but I still stand by what I said earlier, dude. They've been doing this collab stuff for the longest time. If you don't like it, then too bad. I mean, just like, don't play the game. Again, if it was a collab you actually wanted in the game, you wouldn't be complaining. Plus, the collabs barely change anything. It's basically just a reskin of the already existing Chapter 2 POIs. Like, it's not even that bad. This person says that the season updates feel meaningless since the map is basically just only getting new POIs near the corners of the map. Yeah, that's how Chapter 2 Season 2 was. The season everyone always holds to a higher standard than all the others. Yeah, all the POIs in that season besides the agency were at the corners. The season, everybody gasses up. It's almost like Chapter 2 Season 2 isn't a perfect season and has its flaws. Wow! Not to mention that it was the second longest running season in all of Fortnite's history. But what do I know, right? Because Chapter 2 Season 2 was clearly the best season in Chapter 2. It definitely wasn't Season 4 or Season 7. Hell, I'd even put Season 3 above it. I had more fun with that one. Okay, not to be dissing Chapter 2 Season 2. It was still fun. But I'm just saying, people gas up that season like it was the greatest thing ever of all time. When in reality, it really wasn't. I remember being so bored because there was nothing to do for half of it. Drunky Boy says that Fortnite's become one big advertisement. I mean, like, dude, people have been saying this for literal years. And while, yeah, it is true, like, I'm not going to disagree with you, it has been that way for a very, very long time. And if anything, those collabs are what's keeping the game alive. People complain about them, but you gotta admit, it draws people in too. He then goes on to say that, yeah, it's called Remix, but OG Fortnite, like the OG Fortnite season, it didn't have all these collabs in it, it didn't have all these collab POIs. Fortnite OG didn't have those collab POIs, you're right. But there were still collabs during Fortnite OG. So like, you could kind of make the same argument. They weren't on the map, I'll give you that. They weren't like in your face like they are this time. Flare Tree says what I said earlier, where it would have been better if they just started with the regular Chapter 2 Season 2 and then all the collabs got added, which I completely agree with. I said it earlier. Tomic says that the map is fine as is and the collab POIs make the game better than it was back in Chapter 2. I don't know if they necessarily make it better, but they certainly don't hurt anything. Like I said, unless you're really annoyed by them, I get it. I don't know if they make it better though. Elite Creator says the season's overhated. I completely agree. I don't understand, like I'm convinced that if you just actually don't like the season, like straight up don't like, you're not having any fun, I'm just convinced you don't like Chapter 2, which is fine. Like I said, I acknowledge Chapter 2 has its flaws, but it's hell of a lot better than Chapter 5. So, I saw the collabs and I thought, whatever. Because I knew the loot pool was coming back. I knew the map was coming back, which I haven't seen. I mean, the map's like whatever, but it's cool to go back to it for the first time in like a few years. It's cool to go back to it, Look, I was just hyped that his scan weapons were coming back. The Chapter 2 loot pool was coming back, which is way better than the Chapter 5 loot pool. I'm just having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to tell you. This guy says the Scar is the worst AR this season. Yeah, you're smoking something. I don't know where, that's a wild take. Especially when the burst and the stupid, like, silenced AR is also in the game, alongside with the Scar, by the way. This person says that Chapter 2 Remix isn't as good as the first OG season, which I will agree. I think season OG was better in the sense that, like, I was more excited for season OG, and I probably had more fun with it too, because a lot of my friends wanted to come back and play that season. What I think Chapter 2 was when it came out was Fortnite coming out of that, like, early access, we threw this together in like a month type game, you know what I'm saying? That's what Chapter 2 was. It kind of redefined Fortnite. It pushed it in the direction that the creators wanted to take it, wanted to actually take it. So it was a fully fleshed out game, right? That's what Chapter 2 kind of was. So Chapter 2 to me is very similar to Chapter 1 in the sense that, like, it has a very samey feel. And then goes on to say Season 2 in particular is overhyped. Yeah. That's you know, I've been preaching that for years, maybe not publicly, but I've always thought that. Dude, Chapter 2 Season 2 is so overhyped. I really do think people are blinded by nostalgia for Chapter 2 Season 2, because it was not, I promise you, it was not that good. Like, it was still good, but it's not living up to the hype, okay? It was never like that. I remember being very mixed at the start at the time with the henchmen. You know, I didn't really like the henchmen. I thought that was kind of dumb. That was the second longest season in Fortnite history. It got so boring towards the end. It really did. And again, there were hardly any new POIs. They were all in the corner. The agency was the only one in the middle. It's flawed, man. Like, I'm telling you, it does not completely live up to the hype. Star World says the live against the... God damn it. Star World says the live events were great. Not really. I mean, the live event was whatever. It accomplished its job. I think a lot of people expected something a lot more because Fortnite was kind of hyping it up, when really it just turned out to be a sort of interlude into Remix Chapter 2. It wasn't meant to be this super massive event, even though that's kind of what they hyped it up to be. And they wanted to build hype for Chapter 2 Remix as well as the Chapter 2 Remix finale event, the live event that I think will actually be crazy. You know, that's the one they're really gonna go in hard for. I think we're lucky we even got a live event to end that part of Chapter 5 in the first place, especially with how much work they poured into Fortnitemares and all that. This guy down here says the Fortnite storyline's dead. I mean, yeah, it's been dead for like years. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. But yeah, at this point in time, that's all the comments I got on this post. So if you enjoyed this video, I want to do one of these for every single season that drops. So consider subscribing. I'm trying to hit 9K by the end of the year. And yeah, see ya. Hey, what's up, Lewis and George? I didn't forget about you.